Big Brother 28, episode 12. We have an eviction night happening here with gameplay. This was a very good episode again, and Latrice, Lala, Jason, and Mallory are on the block. And it was time for Veto, the last competition before picking the one to evict. Now, everyone is really into the game. They are plotting. They are trying to get everybody to have groups. Melody, Mallory, and who else I got here? Melody and Mallory start to ask folks to keep Jason. So, and the reason they want to keep Jason is because they would use him basically as a tool against the other part of the house that is stronger. Well, the editing on Big Brother, they showed them plotting a lot, so I don't know how strong that was, because as you probably know, it didn't really take. But it was interesting to watch, and the things I saw in here was the one where Lala was talking to Angela, and Angela didn't quite understand what Lala was saying, because Lala was naming names about the things she wanted to do. I can't really tell you what she wanted. She wanted Angela to run interference for, and was saying some of the things that somebody had told her. Well, you know, first Angela had to get her to clarify what she was talking about. And then once she understood, she just said, I just want you to, she basically was saying, I want you to look out for me and all this. And like I said, she really didn't have to do that. She didn't read the room. And but you never know in there, because paranoia is king. And so once Angela left out, Taylor gave her a nice coaching. She says, at this stage of the game, you really don't want to be mentioning other people's names and what they're saying to everybody, because even if you're trying to get help, she explained it to her and it made sense, because the way she did it was just that. Now, I like Lala, but I kind of got the feeling like she's really not going to be there to the end, but she is going to be used to stay in, because she can't win any competitions. If she does, it would be by sheer accident, but she doesn't seem to have that competitive edge. And next, like I said, Mallory, Melody are asking people about Jason. They're trying to get a group to keep Jason in so they could use it against, I guess, Dee, Devin, and Angela. So, well, everyone was going along with it. So I think a lot of this too, even though I don't watch the live feeds, I can tell when the editing is going on this. So there seemed to be a lot of editing showing that they were plotting against not taking Jason out like everybody thought they would. Well, after that, they got through talking to several different people. It was basically time to do the game of the BB Blockbuster. And that is stacking up Blockbuster videos, not stacking them up, pulling them off of a stack and putting them in the Blockbuster box to be returned. And they had to count how many they did. Lala was out after 2. she did something. I can't remember what she did, but she messed up her game. And so it was between Jason and Mallory. Well, Jason was going pretty good on this. He was really trying. But Mallory actually ended up winning. So with Mallory off of the block, it's now between Jason and Lala. And by the talk they had at the beginning of the show, you think that there was a possibility that they were going to vote Lala out and keep Jason as a person that can help them on the game. So once they got in, and I will tell you that even when Mallory won, everybody was very happy, and everyone seemed to be somewhat relieved that Jason didn't come off the block. And so that was a signal right there, because when they come in, they got ready to vote, and the vote was incredibly lopsided, 12-0. You know, Rome didn't even get that when he left. He at least got that one vote from Taylor. Nobody voted for Jason, and let me tell you why. This show opened up. Jason was just a mad, ornery, mean type of person from beginning to end. Now, I don't know if that's editing or if he really was that ornery like that, because he was just walking around looking like he needed a shave and just looking like somebody that's just depressed. And he may have been depressed. He may have been mentally kind of out of it, you know. I'm not sure what that was, but he was just, I put on here that he was upset, mad, and mean. He was really mean. So when Mallory won the BB Blockbuster contest and everybody came back in, he had to go past Kimo, who put him up. And I think Kimo was just trying to give him some consolation. You know, just because you're evicting, part of evicting somebody doesn't mean you hate them. But Jason said, "Get away from me." No, he didn't say get away from me. He said, "Don't touch me, Kimo." He was really mad at Kimo. And I've seen people really get mad, but you know, that's not the way you do it on Big Brother. He could have influenced more of those people to help him if he was acting halfway decent. He just wasn't acting nice. He wasn't being friendly. He had an attitude like everybody's against me. And I don't know, maybe they were on the live feeds, but I couldn't see it. A lot of people appreciate him because he's out there doing drag and was a winner or was on a season of Drag Race. So, you know, he was known, and everybody was just, you know, glad to see him, but it was just his attitude. And so when it came to that vote, it was 12-0. Every single one of them voted him out. Poor thing. I would have voted him out too, because he was just mean. I mean, and when they voted him out, you should have seen his face. He didn't have a strong person's face that would say, I understand it's a game or something like that. He looked like he had just had a mental breakdown. He just, it was like, oh, God, like somebody had shot him. And so, I think in the long run it was best that they got him out, because if he did team up with Jason, he would be so strange to work for. You never know what side of the street he was standing on, because he might be on your side one day and then walk over and be on somebody else's side, because as he promised a lot to each person as he went along. And he was constantly trying to influence each person by making these promises. At least that's what I think he was doing. I may be wrong. But anyway, after he lost, Jason had an interview with Julie, and he was upset. He said, "I did not get any votes. Why?" And he still was upset. But Julie made it so lighthearted. She brought him out of it, and she was banging his teapot that he had in there, which was funny for a moment, but I wouldn't want to be in the house when he was banging that pot at night and trying to, um, you know, say something about Camus. He was just really upset with Camus for putting him up there, but his personality deemed that he was going to be up there soon. Now, the good thing about Jason, once he had a nice interview with Julie. She brought him out of the mean, hateful phase that he was in when he came out. And she complimented him, told him that the votes that they were getting for the punishment of the prize, he was in the top 3 on each time they've done it. And he was really happy about that. And so I don't think he should be too mad because he made an impression. I think he'll learn from it. And he has the possibility of coming back because his personality was so crazy that it would be good, just like seeing Angela back. You might want to see Jason come back and see if he improves on his messy behavior. And it was somewhat mental. I think he has a problem with his personalities of Selena, the drag queen, and his own face and personality. So that's something he'll have to address for himself, but he has to control himself if he wants to win a game. And I'm sure somebody's going to put him on another game because he has a nice personality, photographable and stuff, I mean, when he's not looking mean and upset. Whole thing. But I wish him the best, and I hope to see him again on another episode of Big Brother. And we already know, because somebody on here for a live feed on YouTube got this big blue page that comes up saying that one of the guests has already won the HOH. And it didn't leave any guess to it. You don't even have to watch the video to know it. He just put it on there. So I already know, without even looking at his video, that a certain person won for HOH. And all you got to do is just type in Big Brother and it'll pop up on YouTube. But I'm watching, like I said, I'm only watching the thumbnails. So whoever that was must have heard things like that. Like, we're only watching the thumbnails, and then he just put it out there. Well, this is what's going on. Okay. All right. But it was a good episode. It was kind of bad to see Jason leave out so frustrated and upset. He compared himself to Frankie Grande. That's who he wanted to impress. He may have impressed him, but Frankie had his own bad moments too, because I remember that, this thing of people who do drag just being incredibly mean and hateful at times is just not a good signal for everybody that's in the house with them. So I can do without Jason not being there for the rest of the show, unless they find a way to bring him back, and you never know. But Julie was impressed with him. Julie likes him, so she sees a lot in him that he could actually be. He shouldn't be that upset. And I think she deliberately talked to him nicely, and she enjoyed his company. And she made him look like a happy, nice person. So, he really doesn't have anything to be that upset with. But when you're in that house, no phone, no TV, no nothing to see what's going on, you can kind of go mentally off the rail. And so I think that's what Angela learned when she was on there. She didn't too much go off the rail this time, except for just normal Angela off the rail. Now, this new head of household is coming up. I think that's going to be a real changer, because it's going to upset some of the people on there that we like. Anyway, this was a good show. And I just wanted to get my little 2 cents in of how I felt about it. And I will be looking forward to hearing from you in the comments, subscribing, and liking. So thank you, and you have a good day.